All right, it's quarterfinals time in the Utah High School Athletic Association football playoffs. 4A, that's where Skyview and the Mountain View Bruins reside. Tonight's game, the winner goes on to the Final Four. Yeah, the semifinals with the finals the week after that. Can you believe it? We're winding this season down already. And I think the day today is just as nice as when this season started back in August. We could see a lot of footballs in the air tonight as both of these teams put the ball up into the air. We know about Carlson for Skyview. Mountain View's got a good quarterback of their own, good running back. And Skyview, though, up front is where it starts out with the Bobcats. Their offensive and defensive lines, they get the job done week in and week out. Defensively, the Bobcats, I've said this before, I don't think they're as fast as they've been in the past, but they are so solid. They are so tough to beat. It's the Bobcats and the Bruins coming up next on the Game of the Week.
Life's more than a race to the finish. It's the power to choose what you do and a trainer for where you go.
Welcome to Thailand. So glad that you joined me.
Ready to get started? Let's go.
It's having a friend guiding you on the journey as a partner with a plan built specifically for you on any day for every day. It's someone there for every weight, lift, and lunge, and every flex, push, and crunch.
Nice work, you guys.
It's motivation, inspiring you, mentally and physically. A companion for the downhills and the uphills. A coach for the tough days.
Keep going.
And the easy days. Showing you new things and taking you to new places. Because with your trainers, fitness is an adventure.
Great job. This view is your reward. I'll see you again tomorrow for another amazing workout.
The X22i from Nordic Track. Your life, your trainers.
It's time for Wendy's Bacon Fest.
Bacon.
That's right. The place that brought you the Baconator and sells more bacon cheeseburgers than anyone is making all your Applewood smoked dreams come true. Like the all-new Bacon Jalapeno Cheeseburger. Or the Bacon Double Stack in the $5 Biggie Bag. If you're this crazy for bacon,
Make mine a double.
we got you with the Bacon Jalapeno Cheeseburger or the Bacon Double Stack Biggie Bag. Get yours now at Wendy's Bacon Fest.
Well, Coach, it's a long journey. It's starting to wind down. I know you'd like to have a couple more games after this one, but this is a pretty good opponent you got coming in at Mountain View. Only a couple losses for them on the season. There's somebody that people up here don't really know about based down there in Orem. What do we know about Mountain View?
They're a really good team. They have some really good players, exceptional quarterback, really good receivers, great running backs averaging about 8 yards a carry, a couple receivers averaging about 18 yards a catch. I've known their coach for a long time. They're going to be really well coached. We definitely have our hands full today for sure.
Tyler Anderson's been coaching for a while in the high school ranks. So as you come through this year, one thing that I've noticed about Skyview as I've watched them, it's three phases of the game, and you guys seem to be as complete as anybody I've seen in all three phases. I mean, obviously you coach to that, but it's one thing to coach to it. It's another thing for it to actually happen. How in your experience as coaching, you see that happen? What does it take to get all three phases kicking on all cylinders?
Well, first of all, you have to have good players, and we have good players. You know, without those guys that actually make the plays, it's really irrelevant what's going on from a coaching perspective. And then the second thing is, you know, we focus a lot on it in practice. We practice hard on all three phases, and our kids buy into what we're coaching, and they do a good job executing once we get out on the field.
With a team, you don't want to really single out maybe one guy, but we always hear about Falsliv and Carlson and some of these guys. Is there somebody that's maybe an unheralded person that's really been key to your team this year that you'd like to maybe throw out there, somebody that's done a good job?
Well, I think there's a lot of guys we could point out. Certainly our front on both sides, our offensive and defensive line, they go unheralded all the time. I think Scout Morris is another kid that doesn't get a lot of publicity, but he leads the state in interceptions. He doesn't make mistakes on defense and just plays really, really solid football on offense.
All right, Coach, good luck tonight and the rest of the season.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Say the word base. Say the word mess.
Cash back. Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology, we believe in a very thorough hearing test. Do you hear ringing noises? Does any member of your family have hearing loss? Do you have frequent or severe headaches? Any numbness in your face or fingertips? Do loud sounds hurt your ears? Were you in the military? Have you ever had your hearing tested before?
No, I have not.
Say the word mousetrap. Say the word baseball. Say the word airplane. Say the word cowboy. It also told us if you had a halt, I was able to make the words and you were still able to.
What are all the rest of the...
Okay.
Bring back what you've been missing. Bring back Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology.
So anybody that knows Brett here at Palmer Furnishings, they know that you're a huge Aggie fan, your wife, your kids, everybody you know, your employees. My family have all gone to USU, so we're Aggies, me too. You've got a fabulous promotion coming up to support these guys because they're ranked 17th in the nation right now. So tell us quickly about your deal.
So super high hopes for the Aggies this year, right? Highest they've been ranked in a long time. A lot of other players are coming back this year. Really excited about this offer. So here's the deal. So anything that you come in as a customer and purchase, no limits, anything, okay? $5 to $20,000, it makes no difference. Anything you purchase right now, if the Aggies are undefeated at the end of their non-conference schedule, which we've determined Christmas Day, okay, 13 games, if they win all 13 games between now and Christmas Day, your complete purchase, no matter what the price, will be refunded.
Wow.
If they play the way a lot of us fanatics feel like they might play, it's doable, and we are really excited for this campaign.
Yeah, you have to take my word. These guys are super excited. So you need anything, sheets, couches, tables, come in now, get in on this fantastic deal and see if you don't get all your money back on Christmas Day.
Yep, we're excited for it. Thank you.
Thanks, Brett.
The Game of the Week on the Valley Channel is brought to you by Icon Health and Fitness, changing lives with fitness innovation. Wendy's of Cache Valley, it's way better than fast food, it's Wendy's. Mountain Star Cache Valley Hospital, together we're greater. New Smile Dental, experienced dental care. Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology, bring back what you have been missing. Palmer Home Furnishings, our low overhead means higher quality at lower prices. Aspen Dental, get that gorgeous smile you've always wanted. KSM means music. Music is all we do. Four Seasons Apartments and Townhomes is your home. Anderson Seed and Garden, growing better gardeners. Factory Pizzeria, we're open late after the game. The Logo Shop, we logo stuff, all kinds of stuff. And the Valley Channel, Cache Valley's TV station for over 25 years. Hello and welcome to Skyview High School in Smithfield, the northernmost high school in Utah. You can't go any farther north and still play football in Utah, where tonight the number 2 seeded Skyview Bobcats at 10-1 take on the number 7 seeded Mountain View Bruins at 9-2. The captains are on the field for the coin toss in a game that should be very interesting. Both of these teams can score, and both of them can play defense. Skyview leads this series 2-1 since 1983. It's all playoff games. They've always only met in the playoffs, as Mountain View is going to receive. Skyview defers on the toss. The last time these two teams met, 2017, in the 4A first round. Skyview with a big win in that one, 50-14. But it's the first meeting between these two teams' coaches, Chris Howell and Tyler Anderson. Last year, Skyview played on this field in the first round. They lost to Park City by 1 point, 15-14. And the last time that Mountain View was in the quarterfinals, they got beat by Skyview in 2007. Skyview beat them 45-23. The Bobcats come in with a 9-game winning streak, one of the longest in the state, and they're 11-7 in home playoff games. The Bobcats in a little bit of a, well, this is probably the golden age of Skyview football. They're 31-3 in their past 3 seasons. They've had 1 loss each year, and in 2017 and 2018, that loss came in the playoffs. It's their 7th double-digit win in 56 years, their 4th in 5 years. So the Bobcats know how to win. The Bruins looking to pull the upset as they'll get the ball to start. Jesse Afalava, double deuce, number 22, along with Jed Anderson.
And now fans, it's time
back to receive for Mountain View, and the number 2 kicker in 4A. Let's see if that's Erickson that kicks that off. No, it's Hunter Smith that's going to do the kickoffs. Erickson does the PATs and the field goals. He has the most field goals in all of 4A with 8. He's got 50 points. And Smith is the kicker, the kickoff kicker. And one away in Smithfield. Afalava tracks it to his own end zone, and Mountain View will start at the 20.
Smith's kick goes into the end zone. Touchback. 1st and 10 for the Bruins.
Deuce Anderson, the quarterback for Mountain View. They score 36.5 points per game. Good enough for 6th in 4A. Anderson, 208 of 340, 61%, 2804 his yardage, 28 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Number 2 in passing touchdowns and number 3 in passing yards in 4A is Anderson. He's got Strauss in the backfield with him. Anderson unloads. Short gain goes to David Hare, the 6'2 junior wide receiver, a gain of 3.
Brought down by number 5, Titan Saxton.
As Mountain View puts it in the air right to start.
2nd down and 7 for the Bruins.
Mountain View to the line in a hurry. 4 wide receivers. Anderson stays in there and fires it wide of his intended receiver, number 25, William Bird.
Anderson's pass falls incomplete. Number 25, William Bird.
Meyer actually
number 11, Scott Morris on the defense.
Looked like it started in the backfield. No, number 4. No, it's 44. It's Strauss that's back there with Anderson. It's going to be 3rd down and 7. 5 coming after Anderson. Hit as he throws, and he's just wide of his intended receiver, Benjamin Mella. Mella, his top receiver, the top receiver for the Bruins. Mella, 52 catches, 970 yards, and 12 touchdowns on the season. He's 2nd in 4A in receiving yards, 3rd in touchdown receptions. But you got to catch it before you can get yards, and it's 3 and out for Mountain View. Big number 52 back to punt.
For the Bruins, number 52. Deep for the Bobcats.
We don't have him on the roster. This one's short. It came off his ankle. One of the Bobcats was down on all 4s, and he ducked. He must have heard it. It was Titan Saxton. He must have heard his teammates. He's down on all 4s, and he got all the way to the ground, and it bounced right over top of him. And Skyview starts in good field position at their own 41-yard line. No score. Not even a minute into this quarterfinal game. Kason Carlson wasn't the starting quarterback at the beginning of the year. Got the job when Mason Falslev went down with an injury. He's never given the job up, and Falslev has taken over in other positions. They're going to hand it inside. The Scout Morris, it looked like. Let's see if that's who it was.
Number 32, Walter Collins and carry. Brought down by number 52.
Well, that was Collins. That was 33. That's a good gain. 6 yards. They got Scout Morris on the brain because he is does a little bit of everything for this team, but defensively one of the best defensive backs in the entire state, and that's Morris in motion. He'll fake the give, and Carlson's going to unload. He's got Falslip with the catch. No, he misses it, and he's trying for a flag.
Carlson's pass falls incomplete. Tender receiver number 12.
And the officials say no. He hit the ground, raised his hand up like he wanted a penalty, but that was pretty good coverage there by Peter Maguire.
4th down and 4 for the Bobcats.
Mountain View looking like they might bring pressure. 5 men up and they jump. That's going to be a first down. On 3rd and 4, offsides on the Bruins.
5-yard penalty.
And they give the Bobcats a cheap one.
That results.
Skyview now in Mountain View territory at the 49-yard line. 2 wide receivers to this side, 1 to the far side, and Collins in the backfield with Carlson. Carlson has time, hanging it up there, and it's too tall for his intended receiver. I think that was Falslip again.
Carlson's pass falls incomplete.
So Carlson starts 0 for 2, and it's 2nd down and 10.
Nancy Montfleury on the defense. 2nd down and 10 for the Bobcats.
Zollinger and Flaherty in there, double tight ends. And now they're both going to switch sides. See if they run up behind him. They're going to hand to Collins, and that's the direction they run. Collins puts his head down and pushes to the 44. It'll be 3rd and 5.
Number 23, Walter Collins on the defense. Brought down by number 3, Liam Holmes.
Skyview offense 5th and 4A at 36.7 per game.
3rd down and 6 for the Bobcats.
Collins 495 yards rushing coming into this playoff game. Well, it's a 4-yard gain where they end up spotting him. 3rd and 6. Going to fake the give. Carlson unloads across the middle, and it's knocked down as Carlson had somebody in his face. He couldn't find Brigham Lewis, and Skyview will have to punt. And Carlson starts the game 0 for 3.
Aaron Hyatt on the defense.
He had to get rid of that one quicker than he wanted to because he had pressure.
On the punt for the Bobcats,
the defensive line of Mountain View, their strength. Mountain View's defense.
Number 1, David Hare.
Their scoring defense is 4th and 4A. They're only giving up 15.5 per game. Here's the kick by Carlson. High. Takes a great bounce for the Bobcats. And they're down there to kill it at about the 2-yard line. So Mountain View will be backed up in a big hole at their 3 as they take over with 9:43 to play in the first period. No score here in Smithfield. The Skyview defense is 2nd in 4A, giving up 10.6 per game. 5 shutouts by the Skyview defense. That's right, 5 out of their 12 games. 5 out of their 11 games, they had a bye the first week, have been shutouts. Bunch formation to this near side. And Anderson 2 yards deep into his own end zone. And they're going to throw it out of there. Anderson steps up over the middle. It's knocked down by Evan Hall.
Anderson's pass batted down.
They're lucky he didn't eat that football.
Evan Hall.
It hit him right in the face, and then he gets to come off and take a play off. He and Enna inside are just a load. They bring on an extra defensive back. And they're going to hand to Strauss right up the middle. Strauss with a little bit of an opening. He gets up to the 11-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 3.
Number 44, McKay Strauss on the carry.
3rd and a short 3.
Hunter Larson. Gain of 7 on the play.
Quickly to the line. Anderson's going to throw again. A quick one. The out pattern goes for a first down. As he gets it out to Mella.
Number 21, Benjamin Mella.
For 4 yards.
That results in the Bruins first down.
And the Bruins get their first 3rd down conversion. This drive started at their own 3-yard line. Now a new set of downs out at the 16. Anderson's going to give it off. Strauss with a good gain of about 7. The running game is key in this ball game. Whichever team can run the football, I think will be the team that comes out with the W. Strauss with back-to-back 7-yard runs. Now a guard tackle pull, and Anderson follows behind him. He's got enough for the first down.
Anderson on the keeper. Brought down by number 6, Brigham Lewis. Gain of 4 on the play.
So Mountain View
Bruins, first down.
picking up the pace here, running with pace. 2 receivers each side, and Anderson looks to his left. Now he comes back right. He's got trouble. Gets out of it, and he's got some running room back to the left. Anderson tripped up after it looks like he might have big yardage. One of those defensive backs comes up for Skyview and limits him to a gain of 5. Thatcher with the tackle.
Gain of 5 on the play. Second down and 5 for the Bruins.
2nd and 5. It's Deuce Anderson. Snap goes over his head, and everybody stops because a whistle blows. So this is going to be a flag on Mountain View, and it's going to benefit the Bruins as they were moving before the snap.
False start against the Bruins. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
So it's going to be 2nd and 10 now.
Second down and 10.
That's the second snap that's gone over Anderson's head. Anderson at 6'1". Not a little tiny quarterback. He was able to knock the first one down. It kind of screwed up the timing of the play. And that one went over his head, and this one's perfect. Hands it to Strauss. Strauss working his way down the line, gain of 1. This Bobcat defense has been solid all year. 5 shutouts. Good speed. I think their lateral speed, I don't think they have the team speed that I've seen of some past Bobcats teams, but it's good enough. And they're so good up front. See if they bring pressure. Here comes 5. Anderson throwing underneath. He's got a man, but a great tackle to limit the yardage. And Mountain View will have to punt. See who that was? I think that was Falsliv with the tackle, and it was a 2-yard pass. Falsliv with the sure tackle.
Back to punt for the Bruins, number 52, Tonga Jr. Deep for the Bobcats, number 33, Walter Collins.
Collins is standing at his own 33-yard line. Has to chase this punt down. He lets it go, and it rolls inside the 25 before going out of bounds. And it's at the 24-yard line. That's where Skyview will take over. 6:33 to play in the first period. No score here in Smithfield.
First and 10 for the Bobcats, starting at the 25.
Carlson, 1,535 yards on the season, 24 touchdowns, only 4 interceptions. Here's a good number, 65.5% on his completion percentage. He started this game 0 for 3. Who's in the backfield with him? That's not Collins. I think that's Falsliv. They're going to pitch it to Falsliv. Falsliv dips his shoulder, then hits outside. He's got first down yardage and more as he goes out of bounds up near the 40-yard line. Let's see where they spot him.
Number 12, Mason Falsliv on the carry. Forced out of bounds by number 3, Liam Holm.
17 yards for Falsliv.
17-yard gain on the play.
The coaches told me that they were going to use him as a runner more today. And that's the luxury they've been given with Carlson showing how good a quarterback he is as they can get their best athlete in position to touch the ball everywhere else. They're pressing coverage on Falsliv. Carlson across the middle's got Zollinger. He's behind him. Oh, he had Zollinger running free, and Carlson just kind of hesitated instead of unloading. And once he finally did, he was a little bit behind Zollinger, and if he hits him in stride, Zolli's got a big play. And it's 2nd and 10.
Second down and 10 for the Bobcats.
Carlson knew it too, and when I looked back at him, he was, For Skyview, they're fortunate that they've got Carlson back as quarterback next year. Here comes some pressure, and they came a little early. It's the second time, if that's on Mountain View, and it is, it's the second time they've found the Bruins in no man's land. The Bruins
for the Bobcats.
Being aggressive. It looked like David Hare was more than a hair early. It was either 7 or 1. If it's 7, it's Higa. But one of the linemen jumped as well. Here's the end around, coming this direction. Still on his feet is Scout Morris, and Morris has a first down.
Number 11, Scout Morris on the carry. Brought down by number 8, Caden Coons, and number 11, Cameron
10
Dean.
yards for Morris.
Gain of 10 on the play. That results in a Skyview.
And the Bobcats in business on the Bruins side of the field, 4-man front for Mountain View. They're bringing 4. They throw quickly to Morris out on the edge. He turns around and steps out of bounds after a gain of 6. Nope, make that 5. And Carlson gets his first completion. Perry Christensen, you know, they called Steve Spurrier the old ball coach. If there's an old ball coach here in Cache Valley, it's Perry Christensen, the offensive coordinator at Skyview. He's the old ball coach these days. And calling just a quick little hitter to get Carlson into some sort of rhythm as he had started the game 0 for 4. Now he gets a completion. Carlson pitches it out to Falsov. He's got blockers. Falsov puts his head down, runs over a man on his way to the 18-yard line, and a gain of 20.
Brought down by number 5, Peter Magaroe.
Boy, Magaroe brought him down, but at quite the cost. Falsov's big. He's going to play basketball at the University of Utah. And he's 6'4", 6'5", and every bit of it. Carlson's in trouble. Here comes the blitz. He gets rid of it, and it's caught. Touchdown, Skyview. It's good to be good. It's better to be lucky, as Carlson was in trouble, and Lewis comes up with the catch for the touchdown.
On to the PAT, number 40, Jason Erickson.
Erickson's kick is up and good. 7-0 Skyview, 5:28 to play in the first quarter in the quarterfinals of State 4A playoffs.
Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology.
At Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology, we believe in a very thorough hearing test. Do you hear ringing noises? Does any member of your family have hearing loss? Do you have frequent or severe headaches? Any numbness in your face or fingertips? Do loud sounds hurt your ears? Were you in the military? Have you ever had your hearing tested before?
No, I have not.
Say the word mousetrap. Say the word baseball. Say the word airplane. Say the word cowboy. It also told us if you had a cold, I was able to make the words and you were still able to
Ranges. What are all the rest of the...
Okay.
Bring back what you've been missing. Bring back Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology.
Skyview drives 76 yards, and Cason Carlson started the game 0 for 4. He completed his last 2 for 5 and for 18 and a touchdown, and he's now 2 for 6. 23 yards and a touchdown. Skyview leading 7-0 after a 76-yard matriculation down the gridiron.
Smith's kick goes into the end zone. Touchback. First and 10 for the
So here comes that Mountain View offense looking to get untracked. Penalties have not helped Mountain View early. They've had a couple that have backed them up when it looked like they were starting to get a little bit of a rhythm going. And they've had to punt on both of their first 2 possessions. They've started twice at the 20-yard line and once at the 3. So here's their second go of it at the 20. Strauss in the backfield gets the carry. Right up the middle, he's got a seam. He's got a big seam. Martindale finally brings him down out at the 41-yard line. 21 yards for Strauss. Martindale saves the touchdown as Strauss has 4 carries for 36 yards. Mountain View playing with pace again. Anderson, another high snap. Hauls it in and completes it to Jed Anderson. And a gain of 6.
Gain of 6 on the play. 2nd down and 4 for the Bruins.
Anderson fakes to Strauss, gets rid of it, has a man right at the sticks. They drive him backwards, but his forward progress has him up for 4. That's Mella.
Number 21, Benjamin Mela. Gain of 4 on the play.
5 of 7, 23 yards for Anderson. And quickly, Mountain View is in Bobcat territory for the first time this afternoon. Anderson, double move as he goes to the sideline, and he throws it wide of Maximus Blackwell.
Anderson's pass is incomplete. Number 84, Maximus Blackwell, the intended receiver. 2nd down and 10 for the Bruins.
Anderson with a pump fake, and he was looking for a man who turned it up the sideline, but he was covered well on the edge. So he goes underneath, just throws it away. Give to Strauss, another big hole up the middle. He's finally brought down at the 40-yard line, a gain of 8, 3rd and 2.
Brought down by number 12, Mason Falslow.
Almost 9 yards of carry here in the early going for Strauss as they bring Evan Hall back onto the field. They snap it before the Bobcat player gets off the field, so it's going to be a penalty on Skyview. It doesn't matter because Mella gains 10 yards. The way Mountain View is running this offense, you're not going to be able to try to run guys off and on with a sub. Unless they sub, then they have to stop and let the defense sub. And that's why the official's standing over the ball now. So now he steps out of there. They got Evan Hall back in there. That's where they were running with Strauss. They run the little screen out to the edge and it loses a yard.
Anderson's pass complete to 21 Mela. Forced out of bounds by number 7, Sam Thatcher. Loss of 1 on the play.
2nd and 11. 4:17 to play in the first quarter. 7-0 Skyview. Mountain View on the move. Strauss with the handoff from Anderson. Takes it to the 30-yard line. A gain of 4. It's going to be 3rd and 7.
Strauss on the carry.
2 of 4 on 3rd downs for Mountain View. They take Hall out of there. Let's see if they try to run it right up the middle, because this may be 4-down territory. That's what they're going to do. They're going to hand it to Strauss, and the linebackers are there to fill. Strauss gains 3. He's at 51 yards on 7 carries. Mountain View's ready to go. Skyview's a little confused on defense, but they're not going to take a timeout. It's 4th and 6. Anderson's under center. Now he backs out. Ball at the 30-yard line of Skyview with 3:10 to play in the first quarter. They walk the backers up. Here comes pressure. Anderson swings it out of the backfield on 4th down. They've got a first. They had a chance, did the Bobcats, to pull him down in the backfield, and they couldn't bring him down.
Gain of 8 on the play, brought down by number 58.
Gain of 8.
1st down and 10 for the Bruins.
And a 4th down and long conversion. Give it to Strauss. Strauss up the middle. Gains 8. When they don't have Hall in there, they are running right at Skyview. Right where Hall would usually be.
2nd down and 2.
Both Hall and Enna are on the sideline right now. No, that's Bracken Schumann. Enna's in there. And it's 59. That's 54 that I see. And that was a head scratcher if they were both out. No wonder they're getting 9 yards of carry up the middle. They've had Hall on the sideline most of this possession, and Mountain View's recognized that, and they've run right up the gut. They've run kind of a wide set with the linebackers supposed to come up and fill in those A gaps. And Mountain View is just sealing it off, and Strauss is picking up big yardage before he's finally being cut down. It's 2nd and 2 at the 10-yard line, just inside the 10-yard line of Skyview. 7-0. Skyview leads with 2:35 to play in the first quarter. Hall's in there now. Justin Anna took plenty of time talking to his defense. He's got Justice Anna and Hall in there now. Hall playing nose in a 3-4 look. One receiver to this side, 3 to the far side. And they're going to give it to Strauss, and he's tripped up. He's going to gain maybe a yard.
Strauss on the carry, tripped up by number 6, Brigham Lewis.
Brigham Lewis knifed in there and got his heel. Ball at the 9-yard line. They've got to get to the just inside the 8, 3rd and 1. Strauss in the backfield as the Bruins look to the sideline. Tyler Anderson with the call. 2-by-2 on the receivers. They give to Strauss. Strauss hitting the backfield but stays on his feet, and he looks like he's got a first down. Let's take a look. Nope, he didn't get there. It's going to be 4th and inches. They've already converted on 4th and 6. Anderson under center, he's going to keep it. All he has to do is fall forward. Strauss gets in Anderson's back and pushes him forward for the first down. Clear down to the 5-yard line. He picked up 3.
Anderson on the keeper. That results in the Bruins first down, 1st and goal.
So 2 4th down conversions, and it's 1st and goal for the Bruins. And they're running the ball. Anderson keeps it, and he takes a 5-yard loss. Ball's free and heading the other way. They're going to return this for a touchdown, but the white hat standing at the 10, I think they're going to say this was dead. Let's see. Touchdown is the signal. Scout Morris returns it 90 yards, and the white hat is standing at the 10 motioning, bring it on back. They're going to say no touchdown, and they're going to call him down. They're going to say the whistle had blown. I thought I heard a whistle. And they're going to bring all the officials in, and they're going to talk about it. Now, the one official ran all the way down. They kept the play going, which we didn't see last week, right? Last week we saw 2 plays in the middle of big plays blown dead. These officials have let the play out. Morris scooped it up. Anderson was thrown down. He landed on one of the Skyview players. And if he lands on the player and then loses the ball and he hasn't touched the ground, then it's a live ball. But the officials are going to talk about it. The white hat stayed at the 10 the entire time. The other officials chased it down, and one called it a touchdown, and let's see. Second down. Now the home faithful don't like it. But the officials did what the officials should do. They talked about it. Who saw what? And it's 2nd and goal from the 10 instead of 13-0 Skyview. So a break for Mountain View. Looking into the end zone, man's wide open. It's a double move. And here's a flag in the end zone. And that could be costly, you know. The Mountain View players celebrated, and if they back this up and make it a long PAT, it could cost them a point. Unsportsmanlike on Mountain View. Are they going to do it at the kick? I think Coach Howell's going to talk to him about it and say, hey, back them up.
Unsportsmanlike conduct against the Bruins.
Because that'll make it a 28-yard PAT. So it looked like it was Mella that got in for the touchdown. No one was even near him. That's the second time we've seen Anderson run the pump and the double move. And Mountain View's going to be kicking a 35-yard PAT. Right down the middle.
For the PAT, number 21, Benjamin Mela.
Good placement, good kick, and it's wide. No good. So the penalty costs them 59 seconds to play in the first quarter, but Mountain View's within a point, 7-6 at Skyview. Bobcats lead.
Winter athletes, no hospital network is more committed to short emergency room wait times than Mountain Star Healthcare. Text ER to 23,000 for current wait times.
Skyview went 76 yards to take a 7-0 lead. Mountain View goes 80 to pull to within a point, 7-6. They missed the PAT after the unsportsmanlike penalty. A key play on that drive, though. Skyview had taken down Deuce Anderson and looked like they had caused a fumble. At least that's what the Bobcats thought. They picked it up and returned it for a 90-yard touchdown. Instead, they said no, he was already down, and Mountain View scores on the very next play. So the Bobcats offense will be back on the field with 59.2 seconds to play in the first quarter in a 7-6 ball game. In a ball game where points will probably be at a premium. Two very good defenses. Watching down on the sideline, they've got Trayson Martindale at the bench, and they're working on his right arm. He looks to be okay. They're just kind of wiping some stuff off him there. As Carlson hands it inside. There's running room. Is that Falsliv? I believe it was. And he picks up 8.
Then 8 on the play. Second down and 2 for the Bobcats.
Falsiv's got 3 carries for 45 yards. The running game paramount in this one. They're going to hand it this time to Collins. It looks like it's enough for a first down.
Collins on the carry.
He got 5 yards.
Gain of 5 on the play. That results in a Skyview.
20 seconds to play in the first quarter. 7-6 Skyview. Clock running, and the Bobcats look like they'll run another play. Let's see. Eight seconds. I don't know if they will run another play. Yep, they're going to. They get off with 3 seconds. Carlson over the middle's got his man. There goes Falsliv. We'll see ya. On the last play of the first quarter, Mason Falsliv goes 67 yards for the touchdown. Falsliv's first reception. He's run the ball 3 times. 112 yards of offense for Falsliv in the first quarter. And the PAT up and in, 14-6 as we go to the break. Skyview leading Mountain View. Skyview with a 67-yard touchdown pass. Didn't take them long, and they extend the lead to 14-6. Said 11:59 on the clock. 1 second ticked off, but they got to reset that up to 12. That kick was the PAT, and it was an untimed play. There they go. That's what they were waiting for out there. Falsley has been a weapon. 69 yards rushing for the Bruins there in that first quarter. Let's see, 55, 65, 71 yards rushing for the Bobcats. But Skyview's thrown the ball for 90 yards and 2 touchdowns to 40 for Mountain View. So Mountain View will get another crack at it. 24 plays in that first quarter by Mountain View. Skyview 3, 6, 7, 14 plays. A lot of those plays for Mountain View coming on the last drive. It was an 80-yard drive. And Strauss running the ball on that drive. 62 yards on 10 carries for Strauss. Skyview's answered with 45 on 3 for Falsley. Strauss with Anderson in the backfield. They're going to hand it off to him. He's up the middle again for good yardage. 7 yards for McKay Strauss. And again, Evan Hall's not in there, and they run right at where he would be. Strauss picks up 3 and a first down.
Strauss on carry. Brought down by number 53, Hunter Larson.
I don't know if they're trying to keep Hall fresh for the stretch or defense or what, or for, offense. He's a great offensive lineman, so's Anna. Anderson to the edge, and it's through the hands of his intended receiver, William Burr, and then a flag comes in. Burr was hit in the back as it went through his hands. Honestly, they didn't need to hit him. But let's see if that's how they're going to call it tonight. Let's see if that keeps going the rest of the way. That's 15 yards. And for Skyview, it's only their first penalty. But it moves Mountain View up to the 45. Okay, if you're the Skyview defense now, you know how they're going to call that. And you want to be physical, but you better play to the whistle and not through it. Hall's back in there. High snap. Anderson gives it off to Strauss, who runs around the right end for a gain of a couple.
Strauss on the carry. Brought down by number 1, Tracy Martindale.
Martindale comes up to make the play. We've seen a lot of double moves offensively on the pass game. This time they're running sit-down patterns. It's Hare that catches it. And this ball might be out. Let's see, Skyview says it is. And they're going to say nope, either that or it went out of bounds. Gain of 6. That's third down.
Third down and 3 for the Bruins.
They're running this underneath stuff, and then they're running double moves and sending guys down the field. Anderson looking underneath. He's in trouble. He's just going to throw this one out of bounds. 4th and 3, 2 fourth down conversions by Mountain View on the last drive, and they're going to stay on the field. Their offense is staying on there. We saw us last week with Cedar. Both teams going for it on 4th down a lot. Didn't matter where they were on the field. 4th and 3. Anderson with 4 wide receivers. Unloads, back shoulder throw, and Hare keeps running. The ball's behind him. And the Bobcats take over at their own 48-yard line, leading 14-6. 10:46 to play. here in this first half, as Anderson is now 9 of 13 for 46 yards. Carlson's only 3 of 7. He missed on his first 4. He's hit on his last 3, and 2 of those have been for touchdowns. Carlson's going to throw again. Just a little dump-off pattern to Brigham Lewis for 4.
Carlson's pass complete to number 6. Brigham Lewis brings up second down 6 for the Bobcats.
So Skyview running a little bit of pace themselves. Morris, one of the receivers on the far side, and to this near side, it's Falslev that's closest to us. And they're sending him down the sideline. They throw instead underneath to the far side.
Carlson's pass complete to number 25, Jacob Zollinger.
Zollinger for about 3.
Gain of 3 on the play. Brings up third down and 3 for the Bobcats.
3rd and 3, Skyview's 1 for 2 on 3rd down. They've gotten Mountain View offsides a couple of times. Once on 3rd down. In fact, their 1 3rd down conversion was via the penalty. They're going to hand to Collins. Collins right up the gut. Boy, the ball was coming loose, and he had to turn around and grab it. He gets right to the marker. Let's see if they're going to measure it or give him the first down. It looks like he's there. They're going to move the markers. And the Bobcats with a first down. They lead 14-6, and there's 9:50 to play in the first half. And Skyview on the move again in Mountain View territory at the 42 after Mountain View gave it over on downs. Couldn't convert on 4th and 4. Here's the pitch to Falslev. Cuts it inside. Down to the 39-yard line, a gain of 3.
Falslev on the carry. Brought down by number 90, Justin Kachowski. Gain of 3 on the play. Second down and 7 for the Bobcats.
Second and 7 as Nyman comes in late. He lines up the far sideline, and Falslev's in the backfield with Carlson. You know, they can also pitch and throw with him. Carlson's going to keep. He's in trouble. He finds his man down at the 30-yard line. A gain of 9 and a first down for Lewis. A flag on the far side of the field. Ineligible man downfield for Skyview is going to be the call. They had linemen downfield, which is amazing because they got rid of the ball so fast. How do they have linemen downfield?
Flag on the play. Ineligible receiver.
I mean, he faked the give, pulled it, and got rid of it. That means somebody had to get down the field in a hurry. So instead of a first down, it's going to be 2nd and long. 2nd and about 13, and the second penalty on the Bobcats.
Second down and 12 for the Bobcats.
This time, Falslev will line up as a receiver on the left side. Morris is your receiver on this near side. Collins in the backfield, 2 tight ends. And there to this side, they're following that 2 tight end look. Collins protecting the ball. Picks up 5. It's going to be 3rd down and about 7.
Gain of 5 on the play. 3rd down and 7 for the Bobcats.
And the Bobcats might be in 4-down territory with 8:25 to play in the first half and a 14-6 lead. 3rd and 7, Skyview. Falslev is the tailback, and now he's going to stand next to Carlson in that pistol. They swing it out to Falslev. Stop and go move. He's going to be short of the first down. He's down to about the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 4. It's going to be 4th and short.
Number 12, Mason Falslev. Brought down by number 42, Inoke from Hema.
Skyview's not even going to hesitate. Ball at the Mountain View 35. And with Falslev in the backfield, Skyview's going to go for it. Carlson fakes the pitch and keeps it. Puts his shoulder down and has a first down. 5 yards on 4th and 3.
Carlson on the keeper, brought down by number 42, Inoke Funihima.
Carlson,
number 9, Aaron Hyatt.
Not gigantic, but not a little kid either. And he put his shoulder down, and I think he maybe startled the backer a little bit. I don't know the backer thought that the quarterback would put his shoulder down like that. So it's 1st and 10 at the 30. In motion goes Zollinger. You run underneath on a little tunnel screen to Falslip. His shoulder must be feeling good because they're using him plenty. 6 yards for Falslip.
Right down to number 15, Rodney Stafford. Number 9, Aaron Hyatt. Gaining 6 on the play, brings up 2nd down and 4 for the Bobcats.
2nd and 4 for Skyview as they come to the line and look to the sideline. 6:45 to play here in the first half. Nyman lines up wide left, 3 receivers to the boundary side. And Carlson's asking, what are we running? Now they're going to call timeout. The clock was getting low. Skyview takes a timeout in the first half. No reason not to take those timeouts. That's the 2nd timeout for the Bobcats. They're down to 1 left. But for the Bobcats to keep this drive alive and get into the end zone again and give themselves a little bit of cushion is a big deal against a Mountain View defense that only gives up 15 points per game. Skyview already has 14. Carlson's got Falslip with him in the backfield. You know, Falslip was a quarterback. They can pitch it to him, and he could throw as well. And now they move Falslip up into a receiving position. Carlson over the middle. Falslip, touchdown. That's a soft touch by Carlson. And Falslip put it into another gear and hauled it in.
On for the PAT, number 40, Kason Erickson.
It's good. It's 21-6. Skyview opens up a little bit of breathing room with 6:28 to play in the first half.
Hi Cache Valley, this is Fernando over the factory Pizzeria. We're running a special right now. We're giving a free nachos when you buy a large pizza with 3 toppings. Just mention this out and you're gonna get a free nachos every time you come. The factory Pizzeria is located in 119 South Main, below the Gias in the basement. Come see as soon as you can. Thank you.
So Mountain View went for it on 4th and about 4. With the ball out near midfield. They came up short. Skyview took over with the short field and they drove it down for the touchdown to go up 21-6. 21-yarder from Carlson to Falslip was a thing of beauty as he got behind the defense. This one's returnable. It's dropped by Jet Anderson. Anderson in trouble. And he goes down at the 15-yard line. You know, that one's returnable, and it's one of those where if you fumble it, it kind of messes up with your timing because guys are making blocks, and now you have to wait a little extra to pick it up, and Anderson was in trouble.
First and 10 for the Bruins, starting at the 15-yard line.
And Hall is in there to start this possession for Skyview defensively, running a 3-man front. Anderson running a little screen out to the far side. Hare picks up 8.
Anderson's pass complete to number 1, David Hare. Brought down by number 1, Tracy Martindale.
Hare's got 3 catches, 17 yards.
Second down and 3 for the Bruins.
Anderson's going to give it off to Strauss. He pops outside. Picks up about 6.
Strauss on the carry. Brought down by number 1, Tracy
80 yards on 14 carries.
36 on the play. That results in the Bruins first down.
For Strauss. Anderson looking underneath. He's got Mela. Boy, they gave him a good spot. That far side official. Now they're going to move it back. It's still about 5 yards.
86 on the play. Second down and 4 for the Bruins.
6 catches for 32 for Mela. Here's the give to Strauss, picking his way for a first down. He's got 10 yards and a new set of downs. Strauss is going to be at 100 yards before the half. 15 carries, 90 yards. And there's 5:40 to play in the half.
For the Bruins, first down.
Four-man rush for the Bobcats. They run it to Hare out on the edge. The defensive back hangs on, and they limit to Hare to a couple of yards.
Complete to number 1, David Hare. Brought down by number 5, Titan Saxton. And number 17,
Saxton with the tackle.
Gain of 3 on the play. Second down and 7 for the Bruins.
Down to 5 minutes left in the half, and a 21-6 ball game. Skyview with the lead. Give it off to Strauss. He's got a lot of running room. Gets into the secondary, and he's taken down at the 30-yard line. 22 yards, and Strauss is over 100. He's got 112 yards on 16 carries. And they are just gashing the Bobcats defensively with the run game. They've been a good running team this year. Anderson's thrown for a lot of yards, but they've been able to run the ball pretty well. Strauss, 781 yards and 9 touchdowns coming into this game. Anderson's carried the ball himself. He's only carried it 6 times less than Strauss for 708 yards. But you look at Strauss, 781 yards in 11 games. You're looking at 71 yards per game, so they've run the ball pretty well. 71 yards for Strauss per game, and doing the math on Anderson, you're probably, about 60-some yards for him, so that's 140, 150 yards rushing per game.
At the 30-yard line.
And Strauss himself is at 112. Anderson with only 7. And Hall's in there. At nose tackle. He's working against a center that's every bit as big as him. What a play. They keep running that little screen out there, and Skyview defensively comes up with a nice play. Flaherty, it's a loss of 2.
Loss of 2 on the play. Second down and 12 for the Bruins.
And what that does is it puts the Bruins behind schedule. Instead of second and short, now you're second and long. Give to Strauss. Strauss bursts through the line, picks up 5. It'll be 3rd and 7.
Strauss on the carry, brought down by number 11, Scott Morris. Gain 5 on the play.
Mountain View is 2 of 7 on 3rd downs. 4 minutes to play in the half. Mountain View trails 21-6. And they'll get the ball. Actually, Skyview gets the ball to start the second half. But Mountain View wants to get the ball into the end zone. Anderson in some trouble. Unloads on the run. It's picked. A lot of running room in front. "76 yards and a touchdown defensively on the pick 6 for Skyview. Flags on the field. It's going to be a sideline warning.
Intercepted by number 11, Scott Morris.
Scout Morris. He already returned a fumble for a touchdown that was called back. And this one is not going to be called back. The flag is a sideline warning. And that's a game changer. Mountain View's driving. Anderson's throwing to that out pattern. Morris cuts underneath it. I don't think Anderson saw him at all. He takes it 76 for the touchdown.
Sideline warning against the Dolphins. On to the PAT, number 40, Kason Erickson.
Erickson's PAT up and good, and it's 28-6 with 3:38 to play in the half. Skyview in control.
In Utah, taking the lead is always greater than following. And being empowered is always greater than being restricted. That's the Mountain Star way too, where each one of us has the freedom to do what's right every time. Right for patients, right for their families. Mountain Star is more than a healthcare system. It's real care focused on your needs. Mountain Star. Together, we're greater.
3:38 to play in the half, and Skyview gets a defensive touchdown, the pick six. When Mountain View was driving, Scout Morris steps in front. The key to that play, I believe it was Hunter Smith, came off the edge as Anderson was rolling out. Smith defeated his block, gets into the backfield. Strauss was leading, and he had already run past where Smith was coming upfield, and he wasn't in position to try to make a block as Smith came in underneath him. And Smith gets in Anderson's face, and Anderson unloads it before he's ready. Morris undercuts the little out pattern, and it's a touchdown going the other way. Here's Jed Anderson out to about the 17-yard line. It's where Mountain View will take over.
Brought down by number 14, Parker Bell, and number 3, Hunter Lewis.
Deuce Anderson, he's 13 of 17, but he's only thrown for 59 yards and an interception. They haven't really been able to go downfield. Skyview's gotten pressure on him. They haven't sacked him. They pulled him down once for a 5-yard loss, but that was looked like it was a run play. But Strauss has run for 117 yards, and that's been their offense. 4 wide receivers for Anderson. Fakes the give underneath to Strauss. This one's tipped, knocked down by Prom. Was it Prom or Brigham Lewis? Oh, I think it was Lewis.
Anderson's pass knocked down by number 6, Brigham Lewis.
Yeah, his 6 looks like a 9. It's wrinkled up on the front of his jersey. Second down. They fake the give again, and down goes Anderson. Sacked back inside the 10-yard line at about the 8. A 10-yard loss.
Number 3, Hunter Lewis.
Skyview's first sack of the afternoon. And now Mountain View's in deep trouble. They're 2 of 8 on third downs. They're back at the 10-yard line. It's 3rd and 18. .248 to play in the half. They motion Strauss out. They run a little underneath screen to Mela. He picks up about 3. And it's going to be 4th down.
Number 21, Ben Mela. Brought down by number 6, Brigham Lewis, and number 7, Samuel Thatcher.
Skyview leading 28-6. Looks like they're going to get the ball in good field position as Lewis sets up near midfield. Mountain View's going to be kicking from their own end zone.
4th down, 15 from Terrence.
Lewis now moves up to the 46.
Tonga Jr. Deep to the Bobcats, number 6, Brigham Lewis.
Low snap. Good job by the punter to get this one off. It's high, not much chance of return. Lewis snags it around the 40-yard line. And that's where Skyview, already leading 28-6, will take over. With 1:54 to play in the first half, they are in Bruin territory. They've got another chance to score, and they get the ball to start the second half. Skyview could put the Bruins away in the next 2 to 5 minutes of game time. There's 1:54 left in this half. And the Bobcats could really make the degree of difficulty extreme for Mountain View with a couple of scores. They already lead 28-6. Carlson throws underneath, got his man for about a 9-yard gain.
Carlson's pass complete to number 6, Brigham Lewis.
Lewis picks up 9.
Force out of bounds by number 9, Aaron Hyatt. Gaining 9 on the play.
137 yards, 3 touchdowns for Carlson on 9 of 13. Started 0 for 4. He's only missed on 1 since then. Trouble coming from the backside. He unloads underneath and it's dropped. It would have been right at the marker for a first down. It's third down.
Number 9, Aaron Hyatt on the defense.
Spoke too soon about his incompletions. That one wasn't his fault. He put it right on his receiver. His receiver couldn't come up with it. Third and a long 1. And again, you'd think it's 4-down territory for the Bobcats. Carlson's going to keep it, and he's going to pick up the first down. He needed 1, he got 3.
2-yard gain on the play. That results in a Skyview.
And we've got an injury. Who is it?
Injured Bobcat on the play, number 53, Hunter Larson.
Can't see who it is, but one of those Bobcats down right at the line of scrimmage. Looked like he sure didn't feel very good. He was slapping the ground, and we'll hope he's all right. Well, the winner of this game gets the winner of Dixie Stansbury. Dixie and Stansbury they're playing right now. In fact, they kicked off just about 2 minutes ago. Park City and Snow Canyon playing in about an hour. Green Canyon and Pineview are also playing today. They're playing right now. I'll see if I can get a score out of that one if you're watching us live on the web. Green Canyon leads Pineview 21-16. Pineview's high-scoring offense having trouble. So the Skyview player is down, is up and walking off on his own. Doesn't look like he's too happy about it. As soon as he turns around, I'll tell you his numbers. One of the linemen.
First and 10 for the Bobcats.
First and 10 at the 30-yard line. Carlson looking back. They've got everybody going one way, and they get the play going the other. Out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. 20-yard gain.
Pass complete to number 33, Walter Collins. Brought down by number 5,
It was Collins.
Gain 15 on the play. That results in a Skyview. First and goal from the 9-yard line.
That's a gain of 15. Hunter Larson was the injured Bobcat. They're looking at his leg on the sideline. Good fake by Carlson. He's going to race to the end zone. Carlson steps in. Touchdown.
Carlson on the keeper. That results in a Skyview touchdown.
So the Bobcats go up 34-6.
On for the PAT for the Bobcats, number 40, Jason Erickson.
And Erickson on for one more kick. You're looking at Larson's knee, his right knee. Kicks up, kicks good with 1:21 to play in the half. Skyview extends the lead to 35-6.
So, you bought your computer from one of those big box stores, or online, and now it's really slow, or just not working right.
Target acquired.
PCs Unlimited can fix it. Fixing computers is what we do, and we've been doing it for over 20 years. Service, repair, diagnostics, networking, upgrades, system and data recovery, all your computer needs. Our prices are low and our customer service is the best. You won't get help from the big box or online. Come see the professionals at PCs Unlimited.
Skyview's blown this game wide open with a 21-point second quarter. They lead 35-6 as Hunter Smith kicks this one into the end zone.
Goes into the end zone. Touchback. First and 10 for the Bruins.
And the Bruins take over with a big deficit. They may just want to get out of this half. A pick six, a turnover on downs out near midfield. And the Skyview defense has had Mountain View out of sorts for this entire second quarter. Strauss is the only one that's been able to do anything offensively, and right here he gets stuffed for no gain.
Brought down by number 45, Casey Flaherty, and number 3.
Even with no gain, he's got 117 yards on 18 carries here in this first half. Anderson gets it to Mela. Out to the 35-yard line, a gain of 15.
Anderson's pass complete to number 21, Ben Mela. Brought down by number 12, Mason Falsley. Gain 15 on the play.
50 yards on 8 receptions for Mela, 77 yards for Anderson. Boy, and there's another dangerous one.
Anderson's pass falls incomplete. Knocked down by number 11, Scout Morris. Second down and 10.
15 of 21 for Anderson. 77 yards. The passing game has not been there for the Bruins here in this first half, and he's been under pressure multiple times. He's only been sacked once. The quick hitters like that one they've been able to connect on as Jet Anderson picks up 6 and timeout Mountain View with 41 seconds to play in the half.
Six-yard gain on the play. 3rd down and 4 for the Bruins. Timeout Mountain View on the field.
Yeah, Green Canyon and Pineview, they're about the same juncture of the game that we are. And that score is still 21-16 down the street in North Logan. And the only two Region 12 teams still alive, Skyview and Green Canyon. Stansbury and Dixie just kicking off, and Snow Canyon Park City kicking off in just about an hour. There was some question about where they were going to play the semifinals and finals for the 4A, but it sounds like they're going to be at Rice Eccles. At one time it was, well, 5A and 6A are going to be there and 4A is going to be somewhere else, but I was told this afternoon they're going to be at Rice Eccles. Strauss goes low to catch this one, and then he's knocked out of bounds after a gain of 7. .26 seconds. And Anderson unloads. He's got Mela. Mela behind the defense, and he dropped it. He's behind the defense, and he dropped it. He had it in his hands, and as he was going to tuck it in, it kind of popped out, and then he was hit and couldn't haul it in. 2nd and 10, 20 seconds to play in the half. And you know Skyview doesn't want to give up a cheap one, and that gives Justin Anna time to get hauled into the lineup. Anderson dragged down for a loss of 17.
Timeout, Mountain View.
Now it's a loss of 12. Martindale gets there for the 2nd sack, and Mountain View takes another timeout. Anderson, 6 carries, minus 15 yards. 2 sacks and 1 on a run play where he was caught for a 5-yard loss. Now it's going to be 3rd and many for a team that's 2 of 9 on 3rd down here in this first half. You're just joining us, Mountain View, the 6th ranked scoring offense in 4A, 36.5 per game. They only give up 15.5 per game on defense, and they're getting trounced 35-6 right now.
After the timeout, 3rd down and 21.
They've just not been able to settle into any sort of rhythm offensively. 3-man line for Skyview on 3rd and 20, and it's a 3-man rush. Anderson in trouble with 3 men. Down he goes. A sack on a 3-man rush, a loss of 6.
Anderson sacked by number 45, Jason Flaherty.
And Flaherty gets there along with Hall.
That brings us to the end of the first one. That brings us to the end of the
Skyview 35, Mountain View 6. You're watching the Game of the Week playoff edition on the Valley Channel.
So anybody that knows Brett here at Palmer Furnishings, they know that you're a huge Aggie fan, your wife, your kids, everybody you know, your employees. My family have all gone to USU, so we're Aggies, me too. You've got a fabulous promotion coming up to support these guys because they're ranked 17th in the nation right now. So tell us quickly about your deal.
So super high hopes for the Aggies this year, right? Highest they've been ranked in a long time. A lot of other players are coming back this year. Really excited about this offer. So here's the deal. So anything that you come in as a customer and purchase, no limits, anything, okay? $5 to $20,000, it makes no difference. Anything you purchase right now, if the Aggies are undefeated at the end of their non-conference schedule, which we've determined Christmas Day, okay? 13 games. If they win all 13 games between now and Christmas Day, your complete purchase, no matter what the price, will be refunded.
Wow.
If they play the way a lot of us fanatics feel like they might play, it's doable, and we are really excited for this campaign.
Yeah, you have to take my word. These guys are super excited. So you need anything, sheets, couches, tables, come in now, get in on this fantastic deal, and see if you don't get all your money back on Christmas Day.
Yep, we're excited for it. Thank you.
Thanks, Brett.
Hi, my name is Mickey Kim Nielsen. Some people know me as Mickey, some know me as Kim. Cool people know me as Mick. I'm the lab manager here at Cache Valley Hospital. Clinical laboratory science is that part of healthcare where we analyze blood and other body fluids for disease processes and share that information with the clinician so that he knows how to counteract issues and get you on the road to recovery. I'm a clinical laboratory scientist, which means I have a Bachelor of Science degree in clinical laboratory science. I also have a master's degree in business administration. And I'm a registered medical technologist with the American Society of Clinical Pathologists. This is our chemistry section here. We have 2 chemistry analyzers that do the majority of the chemistry testing. We have another analyzer that's behind me here that does some of our specialized chemistry testing. Over here is our hematology analyzer that measures the cells in the blood, lets us know if you have enough blood or need a transfusion to make you feel better. We can tell if there's an infection going on somewhere in your body. And over here we have a coagulation instrument that tests your clotting factors, and that's important to know in case you've ever had a blood clot and you're on medication that slows down the clotting process in your blood. So the physician needs to know those results so that he can manage your medications for that. I've made a lot of friends over the course of my career, and also discovering, the mystery of what's going on, what makes somebody ill, what's going on with them. It's mostly like being a detective and doing the work that figures out what's going wrong. If you love science, you love looking at blood cells and microorganisms in a microscope, the science of this is really what turns me on about it. It's something that I've always enjoyed, looking in a microscope and seeing what's there. I started working here at Cache Valley Hospital back in 2000 when it was known at that time as Cache Valley Specialty Hospital. It's been an awesome experience working for them. They know what they're doing. They have almost 200 hospitals around the world, and so they understand what needs to be done in order to provide quality health care to people every time they come through our doors. I'm probably outnumbered at least 4-to-1 by the women that work in this profession, and it's good because women are very intelligent and bring a lot to the workplace here, and they especially keep me on my toes. If you're interested in pursuing laboratory science as a career, some of the things that you would need to do to prepare, for instance, if you're in junior high or high school, start really enjoying your science classes. Find a way to look at things in a microscope and see if that's something that you enjoy. Then I would prepare myself to go to college. You need a Bachelor of Science degree. It's exciting and very fulfilling. So outside of my laboratory life, I like to do a lot of different things. I'm a drummer in a local rock band, a bunch of old fogies that get together just to play music, the good old stuff from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. I have a Harley Davidson I like to ride to work and around the valley. I also paint. I do oil painting, and so I have a kind of a well-rounded personality. I like to hunt and fish and do outdoors camping and all of that kind of stuff. But I can be a serious guy too and sit down and read a good book and appreciate the time doing that. Cache Valley Hospital is a wonderful place to work, and it's a wonderful place here in our community to come for medical services. We can take care of all of your needs. We're a community hospital now. We do everything from visit you, see you in the ER, to deliver babies and provide surgical care as well. Great place to be, great place to work, great place to come for your medical services.
Bring back what you've been missing. Bring back Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology.
Dr. Daines, I suppose, along with everybody else in my age group, I am now getting bombarded on a daily basis, it seems, in the mail with hearing aid advertisements coming through the mail. I don't know if you... Really, I just throw them away, because I would say if I needed a hearing aid, here is where I'd come to see you. Are people in danger with these things? I mean, are you going to get a product that's legitimate? Are you dealing with real people, or is it a scam?
You usually get a product it's a decent product, but is it fit for you? Everybody's a little bit different, and we want to be able to have you come in and find out what works best for your individual needs. Some of these hearing aids that you can buy through the mail are not really anything but amplifiers. They turn things up, but simply not turning things up, that doesn't solve the problem. We need to personalize the hearing aid to your individual loss. And make it so what frequencies need to be boosted are boosted, and those that don't need to be boosted aren't.
Okay, so just turning up the volume on something isn't actually going to fix the problem?
It does not. No, we need to make it so it matches exactly what your hearing is.
I had no idea it was that complicated, because, you know, on the street, people might think, yeah, I can send away for one and it's generic and it'll work for everybody, but that really isn't the case.
It really isn't.
No.
And you also see a lot of times advertisements that say, come in for our free trial. We're offering a trial research, and come and give us your opinion on this hearing aid and we'll give you a discount. We're doing a special study with the manufacturer. Well, the manufacturers already have their study done.
Right.
They wouldn't be offering it to somebody here. They have their own research facilities that they do these studies at.
Okay.
And so the study is how many hearing aids they can sell.
Yeah.
It's not a real study.
Yeah, and so again, it's just down to people pushing a product that could be right for A, B, and C, but is not anywhere right for the rest of the alphabet people. But coming here to Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology, you are going to find out exactly, if you have 100 different people walking through in a day, you're going to find the exact right, and some of them may not even need a hearing aid, and of course you're never going to push that.
I do not do that. That's one thing that I pride myself in, is I am not a salesman.
Right.
I take care of people, help them meet their needs, and take care of them, and do what we can that way, but I will not push or pressure anybody to purchase a hearing aid.
Yeah. So even though you might be tempted, even though you get these in the mail like I do, don't be tempted, because ultimately it may not be at all what you personally need. Come on down to Cache Valley Hearing and see Dr. Daines, and he will find you exactly what you individually need. Thanks, Dr. Daines.
Thank you.
Bring back what you've been missing. Bring back Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology.
You have to love what you do in order to put yourself 100% into it. When I was in the hospital for several weeks, I always said to myself, while I am here, I can do what I want, and I want to do what I can.
He had an arteriovascular malformation. It was in the part of the brain that deals with vision. When we went to the hospital and they did a CAT scan, they immediately saw that it was quite serious.
It was very scary for a while. I couldn't see from the side. It seemed like I'd lost all my peripheral vision.
There's nothing worse than seeing your child sick in the hospital. There's nothing worse. But I think it really helped to define him. Because of this vision cut, he felt like he had blinders on. It gave him the drive and the desire to look more broadly in everything that he does.
Tennis really came about from that, because tennis was one of the few sports that I was cleared to play. I just hit hundreds and maybe even thousands of balls that summer. If you try your best, then no one can ever knock you for anything.
After each match, when he would lose, he'd get in the car and he'd say, "When's the next tournament?" He was less afraid to fail in other things he did, whether it was playing a new instrument or trying to launch this very ambitious fundraising campaign.
Sort of relates to the fire within, or the hunger, the desire to do something.
Patrick has that hunger within him, never be satisfied, and always keep striving for more.
All these kids have passion for something, and that's what they're really showing the world.
We're living now, so we need to make the most of it now.
Some people take it upon themselves to be great. I think Patrick is one of those people. I don't think he's setting out, I want to be great. I think he's setting out, I want to be a good person. I want to make a difference.
Greatness has to do with how big of an impact you've had on the community and other people.
This guy can do anything out there.
Gauging my best is not actually possible, but just knowing that I can continually push myself and hopefully reach that best is what I'm trying to do.
The Game of the Week on the Valley Channel is brought to you by Icon Health and Fitness, changing lives with fitness innovation. Wendy's of Cache Valley, it's way better than fast food, it's Wendy's. Mountain Star Cache Valley Hospital, together we're greater. New Smile Dental, experienced dental care. Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology, bring back what you have been missing. Palmer Home Furnishings, our low overhead means higher quality at lower prices. Aspen Dental, get that gorgeous smile you've always wanted. KSM means music. Music is all we do. Four Seasons Apartments and Townhomes is your home. Anderson Seed and Garden, growing better gardeners. Factory Pizzeria, we're open late after the game. The Logo Shop, we logo stuff, all kinds of stuff. And the Valley Channel, Cache Valley's TV station for over 25 years. Welcome back to Skyview High School. Eric Olson along with you as Skyview did just about everything right in the second quarter and most of the first half on their way to a 35-6 lead at halftime, and they get the ball back to start this second half. Mountain View had 96 yards on the ground. Strauss had 117 yards on 18 carries here in this first half, but Anderson had 7 carries for minus 21 yards. He was caught on a designed quarterback run for a 5-yard loss and then sacked 3 times for minus 10, minus 12, and minus 6 yards. And so he ended up with minus 21 yards, so only 96 yards rushing for Mountain View. 90 yards through the air as they really held Anderson down. He was 17 of 24 for 90 yards. 50 yards on 8 catches for Mela, his top receiver. Mountain View had 109 yards in the first quarter, so only they had 186 for the half, only 76, 77 yards there in that second quarter. Hit 69 rushing and 40 passing. Skyview, 99 yards rushing in the first half, 157 through the air for 256 total yards. Falsliv led the way, 4 carries for 48 yards. Carlson missed on his first 4 passes, but ended up 10 of 15. So he only missed 1 out of his next 11 passes on his way to 157 yards and 3 touchdowns. Falsliv, 4 catches, 98 yards and 2 touchdowns. Lewis had the other touchdown, a pick 6 in that second quarter by Skyview. It was Scout Morris, his 9th interception of the season. And Skyview stakes out that 35-6 lead. If Skyview puts points on the board on this first drive, we'll be in a running clock situation. And I wouldn't have thought that was going to happen against a Mountain View team that's been pretty solid all season long. You know, just 2 of the 25 schools that made coaching changes this season advanced to the next round this week. Both of the coaches had previous experience with other teams. Chris Howell is one of them. They previously coached Ridgeline, and Stansbury's Eric Alder, who played and coached out here at Skyview, is the other out at Stansbury. But Stansbury's losing in the first quarter to Dixie, 21-0. We'll thank George Felt from the Deseret News for that little tidbit. Speaking of scores, Green Canyon leading Pineview at the half, 21-16. And I just told you Dixie leads Stansbury 21-0 with 5 minutes left in the first quarter. Dixie uncorking a can in that game. We'll see what adjustments these 2 teams have made here at the half. For Skyview, they did just about everything right in a 21-point second quarter. Carlson's going to keep it. He's got a lead blocker. He runs into the back of his lead blocker, and he picks up 5. Carlson 4 carries, 22 yards, and a touchdown. $62 points in their game last week, and 35 in the first half of this one. Skyview is firing on all cylinders. Lots of time for Carlson. He throws behind Brigham Lewis.
Carlson's pass ball is incomplete. Number 6, Brigham Lewis, the intended receiver. 3rd down and 4.
Lewis is not a big receiver, but he's not afraid to go across the middle. They'll send him on posts and on slants and get him right into the teeth of the linebackers. And he does a lot of work in there. 3 of 5 on 3rd downs for Skyview. It's 3rd and 5. Four down linemen for Mountain View. They've put pressure on Carlson. They haven't been able to get to him for a sack as Collins steps up. Incomplete. He was just looking for Zollinger. It would have been short of the first down. So 3 and out for Skyview on their first possession of the second half.
Number 8, Caden Coons on the defense.
They come out of the locker room.
That brings up 4th down and 4 for the Bobcats.
Not in the manner I'm sure that they envisioned.
For the Bobcats, number 2, Casey Carlson.
And Carlson's on the kick.
Number 10, Jet Anderson. And
I believe for only the second time in this game. I was watching him kick in the first half, and that ball just explodes off his foot. He's a good punter. And this one takes a nice roll inside the 25 to the 23, and that's where Mountain View will take over.
Carlson's pass. Punt is down.
Trailing
23-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Bruins, starting at the 23.
By 29. They've been able to keep Deuce Anderson under wraps. He's thrown a pick that was returned for a touchdown. I mean, not a bad completion percentage, 17 of 24, but only 90 yards. Nothing downfield. Their longest pass play was 15 yards. That was on the last possession. Ball's free. Skyview's on it. Strauss was in there, and he loses it. Skyview takes over. Flaherty comes up with it. Strauss gained 2 and then coughed it up. Second turnover for Mountain View. And I said Skyview didn't come out of the locker room the way they had envisioned it. The Bruins absolutely did not envision that. Fumbling on their first offensive play. Carlson steps up. Flag, this one's coming back. Lewis in the back of the end zone too long. And we got a hold. It's going to back the Bobcats up. They're at the 24-yard line. This is going to back them way up. Carlson doing a good job climbing the pocket there. The pressure came, and Mountain View's put pressure on him. And he stepped up and around it, climbed up in the pocket, and delivered. But a hold in the backfield. Boy, that backed him way up to the 43-yard line. That's almost a 20-yard penalty. Holy cow. Now it's at the 42. Carlson being chased again. Now he's going down. And that's a whole lot of frustration on that tackle being taken out by Christopher Gonzalez. That's going to be a loss of 7.
Carlson sacked by number 66, Christopher Gonzalez.
First sack of the night for Mountain View. They moved Carlson out. and he still couldn't get away. He held on as long as possible. It's 2nd down and a mile. They have to get to the 15-yard line. It's 2nd and 35, screen. There's running room for Collins, but he hesitates. Instead of just breaking that outside toward the sideline, he gains about 5.
Carlson pass complete to number 33, Walter Collins. Brought down by number 52, Tonga Jr.
3rd and long. Tonga Jr. with the tackle. They got to get to the 15 to the Bobcats. They're at the 45-yard line, 3rd and 30. Lots of time. Carlson hit as he throws. Ball's caught. Caught at the 5. 39 yards. They're going to say it's back at the 7. 37 yards.
1st and goal from the 7-yard line.
The biggest throw of the night by Carlson, and he got walloped. And it's 1st and goal. That's one if you're the Mountain View defense, you just throw your arms up. What else can you do? They push that pocket. He had time. His offensive line gave him enough time to step up and just hang it out there. I'll have to see who caught that. I think it may have been Falslev. It's the give to Collins. Pops it to the outside, races for the pylon, and stumbles in for 6. And the Bobcats blowing this thing wide open. After the turnover, here's the backbreaker for Mountain View. It was 3rd and 30. Erickson's PAT up and good. And it's 42-6 in Smithfield. Skyview with the lead. Playing football against the Skyview Bobcats is like juggling dynamite. It's going to go off any minute, and it's going to be bad. They went off in the 2nd quarter. It was 14-6 at the end of 1. It was 35-6 at the half. It's now 42-6. Skyview, just a complete football team. Mountain View came in on a little bit of a roll, 3-game win streak. A 9-2 record. And Skyview is just taking it to them. I mean, it was 14-6, and Mountain View was driving, looking like they were maybe going to have a chance to come within 1 or tie this game up, but it's been all Skyview since then. Nice grab out there by Jed Anderson. Gain of 8.
Anderson's pass complete to number 10, Jed Anderson. Gain of 8 on the play. 2nd down and 2 to the Bruins.
18 of 25 for 98 yards for Deuce Anderson. I wonder if they're brothers. I did not ask that if the coaches before pre-game, because with names like Jet and Deuce, one's junior, one's a senior. Strauss picks up 4 and a 1st down. Quickly out to Mela, and he's brought down after a loss.
Number 21, Ben Mela. Brought down by number 5, Titan Saxton.
5-yard loss is Saxton
Loss of 5 on the play. Second down and 15
with the tackle.
for the Bruins.
They've kept Mela under wraps as well. He's one of the top receivers in 4A. Here comes the blitz. Anderson gets rid of it. Mela hauls it in.
Anderson's pass complete.
8 yards.
Number 21, Ben Mela. Forced out of bounds by number 7, Sam Thatcher.
But they have not been able to go downfield. 101 yards for Anderson on 27 completions. I mean, that's just about 4 yards a completion. Anderson throwing underneath. Oh, that's got to be a flag, and there it is. Maximus Blackwell didn't catch it. And for the second time tonight, one of the Bobcat defenders hits a receiver after he drops a pass.
Flag on the play.
I think that was Collins, and he hit Blackwell right in the mouth. So that's 15 yards. That was a big one.
Personal foul against the Bobcats.
For Skyview, that's 3 penalties for 35 yards. Mountain View has 4 penalties for 30. They haven't been penalized since the first quarter. So Mountain View, 4 penalties in that first quarter, but they've cleaned it up since then. Anderson looks across the middle. He's got Mela. Mela breaks free. Down to the 32-yard line, a gain of 13.
Pass complete to number 21, Ben Mela. Brought down by 3, Hunter Lewis. Gain of 18 on the play. That results in a first down for the Bruins.
Anderson, plenty of time, looking for Mela in the end zone. Touchdown! 31 yards.
Anderson's pass complete to number 21, Ben Mela. That results in a Bruins touchdown.
145 yards now on 22 of 29 for Anderson. .604 to play in the third. Kick up. Kick good. 42-13. Skyview still on top. .604 to play in the third.
It's time for Wendy's Bacon Fest. Bacon. That's right. The place that brought you the Baconator and sells more bacon cheeseburgers than anyone is making all your Applewood smoked dreams come true. Like the all-new Bacon Jalapeno Cheeseburger. Or the Bacon Double Stack in the $5 Biggie Bag. If you're this crazy for bacon,
make mine a double.
We got you with the Bacon Jalapeno Cheeseburger or the Bacon Double Stack Biggie Bag. Get yours now at Wendy's Bacon Fest.
6:04 to play in the third quarter. Skyview with a touchdown to go up 42-6. Mountain View answers a 31-yard touchdown pass from Anderson to Mela. And Mela now 97 yards, 12 catches on a touchdown, 145 yards and a touchdown passing for Anderson. He's thrown an interception as well. And Scout Morris is back deep, and this one's not going deep. Skyview's got to get on it. Boy, they do. That was a race to the football, and Skyview just barely got there first. They were working on Evan Hall's helmet just before the kickoff, doing something with the face mask, and they got it fixed in time because he's in there now. Carlson has Collins behind him. Let's see if they stay aggressive. Collins puts his head down and goes down, loses a yard. Afalava, the leading tackler for the Bruins, takes him down. Collins 7 carries for 30 yards. Falslip hasn't touched the ball from the backfield since the second quarter. He had 1 carry in the second quarter. He had 3 in the first quarter for 45 yards, 1 for 3 yards in that second quarter. He hasn't touched it, at least from the backfield, since. And Mountain View's offsides again for the 3rd time tonight.
Flag on play. Offsides against the Bruins. 5-yard penalty.
Their first penalty since the first quarter for Mountain View. So Mountain View looked like they might be in for a long night as penalties after 4 penalties in the first quarter, but then they tightened things up, and that's their first penalty since that first quarter. First penalty in a quarter and a half. Flaherty in at a wing on the right side. Send DeMuzio in motion, and they fake the toss to him and give it to Collins. Collins trapped in the backfield, and down he goes. Loses 3. Now Collins has run it twice on 2 different plays, and he's lost 4 yards. And it's going to be 3rd down and 9. 4 for 7. That's way better than 1 for 7 on 3rd down for Skyview. Big 3rd down for the Mountain View defense. They still trail by 29. But if you start putting some pressure, things can go crazy in a hurry. Carlson downfield, and it's over the head of Brigham Lewis. He had Lewis just breaking free. Carlson just put a little bit too much mustard on it. He was being chased in the backfield. That's 4th and 9. 3 possessions for Skyview here in the 3rd. 2 have not looked good. And 1, they took over deep in Mountain View's territory and they turned it into a touchdown. That was not a great possession. Neither was their first possession out of the locker room. Well, Carlson, this one's kind of a rough one, but gets a pretty good bounce, pretty good heck. Great bounce out at the 25-yard line.
Carlson's kick goes out of bounds at the 25-yard line.
Ends up being a 46-yard punt. With 3:19 to play in the 3rd, Mountain View takes over. Maybe with a little bit more confidence offensively after that last drive. We'll see. Anna and Hall in on this drive. Anna playing that right defensive end. Justice Anna, his dad, Justin Anna, was a player at BYU and is the defensive coordinator up at Utah State. And Justice has been just an outstanding defensive player, but as good as he is defensively, he's probably been even better as an offensive lineman. Strauss loses a yard. Still has 122 yards rushing. Anderson, double move, and he throws it behind Mella. Mella was kind of in that space between the safety and the corner on his own. And Anderson misses him. It's Anderson's 30th attempt. As we're down to 2:25 to play in this 3rd quarter. Anderson, late pressure, unloads over the middle. Hare can't come up with it. Just a hair behind him. Been waiting all night for the opportunity for that. Anderson throws a nice ball, and he throws it with some velocity. But he missed his receiver on those last 2 plays. Now Mountain View will have to punt. Clock's still running. They get in a running clock situation when the lead goes over 35, and then it has to come back down, I believe, to 24 before they start running it as a regular clock. So right now it's 29. Brigham Lewis standing in his own 46-yard line. Tonga Jr. set to punt. Boy, you could hear that one. And everybody clears out for Skyview, and the Bobcats will start at their own 48-yard line as the moon comes up. over the mountain here in Smithfield. A beautiful November evening. You can't ask for much better than this. Especially when you consider a couple of weeks ago you're down in the single digits here in the valley. And just up over behind those mountains, you were at 40 plus below zero up in Peters Sink, up in those mountains. That's cold no matter how you measure it. 1:05 to play in the third quarter in a 42-13 ball game. Skyview in control. A 21-point second quarter gave them the big lead. And here's another penalty on Skyview, and they're going to go backward again because they took too much time. Their fourth penalty.
5-yard penalty remains first down.
Skyview's done a better job going backwards in this third quarter than forward. They've had running plays of -7, -3, and -1s, and then and 20 yards worth of penalties. That almost offsets their. They've almost has as much negative yardage as positive yardage in this third quarter, and they still lead 42-13 with under a minute to play. Carlson just gets this one off. In trouble again. He's got running room if he wants to. Tucks it in. Heads for the sideline. Turns it up inside the 40. He's got a first down.
Carlson on the keeper. Gain of 20 on the play. That results
he picked up 20 yards. And that's the end of the third quarter. Skyview 12 minutes away from the semifinals with a 42-13 lead over Mountain View.
It's over? I thought you liked that I'm basic.
Wendy's Made to Crave chicken sandwiches taught me I could do better than basic.
Upgrade from basic, the barbecue chicken sandwich, avocado BLT chicken sandwich, and the sauce and bacon chicken sandwich. At Wendy's, we got you.
Now we get ready to start the fourth here in Smithfield. Eric Olson along with you in our last broadcast of the 2019 football season. Holy cow, it seems like we've been doing this forever. Not this season, but the Valley Channel has been doing these games almost forever. I think it was 1987, the first broadcast by the Valley Channel was the Mountain Crest Skyview championship game up at Romney Stadium. The Valley Channel was there. I was there, down on the field when I was young, had hair, 300 less pounds. As Lewis goes in motion. They fake the give inside and hand to Collins. Collins breaks it outside. He's got a first down and more inside the 20. 17 yards for Collins. With all those years, the Valley Channel doing games, now everybody's doing it. Trying to copy them, trying to copy the Valley Channel. 54 yards on 9 carries for Collins. They fake the give and go outside to Lewis. Lewis has to go down to one knee almost to catch it, and he gains 2.
Carlson's pass complete to number 6, Brigham Lewis.
Lewis with 33 yards on 4 catches, and Carlson goes over 200 yards. He's 15 of 21, 201 yards. Remember, he started the game 0 for 4. We get 15. He's hit 15 of his last 17. See if Falslip's in there. He is. He's in that stack on this near side. He's the front receiver. They're going to give it to Collins. Collins, 2 hands on the ball, puts his head down and spins inside the 10. Down to the 6-yard line. 10 yards for Collins. He had a rough 2 or 3 carries there in the third, but since then, he's had 27 yards on his last 2 carries. It's 1st and goal, Bobcats. And the Cats are looking to put this thing away and get ready for what looks like it's going to be Dixie. Dixie leads 28-0 over Stansbury. Collins tripped up down to about the 1.
On the carry, brought down by number 15, Ratty Stafford.
Ratty Stafford takes him down.
Getting 4 on the play. Second and goal from the 2-yard line.
They're going to spot it right at the 2. Second and goal, and Collins to the back. See if they reward him. Try to get him in the end zone. Everybody stacked in there for Mountain View. They give it to Collins. Collins near the end zone. Touchdown.
Collins on the carry. That was it from the Skyview. Touchdown.
His second of the night.
Number 40, Casey Erickson on for the PAT.
Erickson on for another PAT. Down and good, 49-13 Skyview, cruising to the semifinals.
At Ultra, we don't believe in limits, or telling runners they can't, or it's not possible. That's why we dared to make shoes with a foot-shaped toe box, and gave runners zero-drop technology so that runners could say goodbye to limits too. Ultra invites you to experience the difference everyone's talking about with zero risk. Love your run or send them back within 30 days, no questions asked. Get your pair today at ultrarunning.com. Ultra, zero limits.
The Skyview Bobcats scored 62 points last week in their playoff opener. Tonight they've scored 49. There's still 9:21 to play in the ball game. So for the playoffs, they're averaging 55 points per game. 111 points in their last 2 games. They've recorded 5 shutouts in 11 games. They're only giving up 10 points a game. So Mountain View's actually scored more than what Skyview usually gives up, as the Bruins have scored 13. Scored 2 touchdowns. They missed a PAT after a unsportsmanlike conduct on the celebration after the touchdown catch. Anderson whips it out to Jet Anderson, and it's incomplete.
Anderson's pass ball is incomplete. Number 10, Jet Anderson, incoming receiver. Second down and 10 for the Bruins.
And Skyview is rolling some guys in on the field now. Different guys getting some time. Anderson goes downfield and then coming back for it and catching it is Mella. 20 yards.
To number 21, Ben Mella. Getting 20 on the play. That results in the Bruins first
So
down.
Mella has 117 yards on 13 catches. Anderson's in trouble. Scoots out, throws back inside, it's picked, and we're heading the other way. There's a flag down, but for now it's a Skyview touchdown. Looks like Martindale. The flag came in on the run, let's see. It was Hunter Lewis with the pick and the pick 6. It would be the second pick 6 of the night. The flag was thrown by the back judge. He was clear out in the middle of the field. He threw it back toward the Mountain View sideline. Personal foul against Skyview, but that's post possession. So it should be Skyview ball, no touchdown. If it's a personal foul during the run back on the interception, which that's when the flag came, was after, well after the ball was caught and running back. So the offense should be on the field. That takes away his second pick six by Skyview. So personal foul on Skyview. Didn't see what happened. The ball's clear up at the 49-yard line. That's where Skyview will take over. See if they put in some backups offensively. I still see Falslev out there. And there's Carlson. Now the offense, the first string's out there. With 8 minutes left and the clock moving, Skyview leads 49-13, and after the interception, second of the night. That's 3 defensive touchdowns by Skyview. 2 of them were called back on penalty. And Skyview's going to need a timeout. They didn't have guys in the right spot. Trey Nyman was on this near side, and they had to get him over to the far side.
First charge timeout of the half.
Actually, one was brought back, one defensive touchdown. This one was just brought back on a penalty. The other was called not a fumble. And we didn't have a replay for that one, so I can't comment to that. In fact, I didn't even see that it was out until Skyview was running down the field. That was almost as far away as we can get from the play where that happened. We're up here at the booth right about the 44-yard line of right about where that ball is. And that fumble happened down at about the 10 on the far sideline in the south end. Pineview's caught up to Green Canyon and passed him 22-21 in the third in North Logan. Here's the pitch out to Falslev, his first carry since the second quarter. He's got a first down. 12 yards, a first down. You watch an athlete like that, and it's just not fair, is it? All that talent. Some of the rest of us would like a little, but no, he's keeping it for himself. As fun as he is to watch in football, he's an absolute joy to watch play basketball. Falslev is an outstanding basketball player. I just wish he would have decided to go to Utah State. He's heading down to Utah. He's in motion now. Carlson's going to keep it. Carlson into the secondary. Good night. 37 yards.
Touchdown.
72 yards on 8 carries after the 37-yard scamper.
Onto the PAT, number 40.
And the Bobcats keep pouring it on. PAT's good, 56-13 Skyview, 6:44 to play in the game.
My older brother thought he could do a 360. Yeah, he got maybe a 60 before his face plant. We went to the emergency room and Dad told us to behave because we probably would have to wait a long time. But they brought us right back here, and the doctor used x-ray vision to see what the big dummy broke.
ER specialists at every one of our 8-star hospitals are dedicated to seeing you fast. Mountain Star Hospitals. Look for the star.
Gonna post this on Insta.
56-13 Skyview. The 37-yard run by Carlson puts the Bobcats over 200 yards rushing for the night. 213 rushing yards for Skyview. 201 through the air, 414 total yards for the Bobcats, and they had a defensive touchdown to add to it. Only thing they're missing is a special team score.
Starting at the 20-yard line.
Mountain View, on the other hand, 264 yards offense. They've had to get away from the rushing attack. They've only ran the ball 3 times here in this second half because they've been down big. And they're going to hand it to Strauss. Strauss up the middle. And a gain of 9. 131 yards on 22 carries. For McKay Strauss, 5'11" running back. He's just a junior. Anderson, lots of time over the middle, and Mela comes free. Hit as he catches it, but he's down at the Skyview 40-yard line. 32 yards.
Anderson's pass complete.
149 yards on 14 catches for Mela.
First down.
197 now for Deuce Anderson. Anderson underneath to Hare. Hare gets out of a tackle. And he's inside the 30. To the 27, 12 yards.
Number 1, David Hare. Brought down by number 1, Tristan Martindale, number 33, Walter Collins. That results in the Bruins first down.
228 yards now for Anderson on 25 of 35. Anderson's got time, goes outside, and the ball knocked up in the air. Hare just about had a chance to grab it on the rebound, and he couldn't find it.
Anderson's pass falls incomplete.
4.5 to play in the ball game in a 56-13 ball game with Skyview leading all the way.
Second down and 10 for the Bruins.
56-13. They give off to Strauss. Boy, you could hear that hit all the way up here. Man, that was a collision. It's third down and 9.
Brought down by number 25, Jacob Zollinger. Number 7, Sam Thatcher. Number 1 on the play, third down and 9.
2 of 11 on third down for Mountain View. Skyview bringing extra. They hit Hare, and then he's hit immediately. 3 yards, it'll be fourth down and 6.
Brought down by number 12, Mason Falsler. Getting 3 on the play.
As we're under 3.5 to play. 4th and 6. See if Skyview brings a blitz. As Deuce Anderson looks to the sideline. Strauss changes sides. Here they come, Anderson. On the run, unloads, and it's incomplete. The defensive back cut underneath Mela and got into his line of sight, and Mela didn't find it till it got to him, and it goes out of bounds, and Skyview takes over at the 23-yard line. Under 3 minutes to play in this ball game.
23-yard line.
Looks like Zollinger's in there at quarterback. Garrett Zollinger hands it off. A loss of a couple. Loss of a yard.
Reed Wild on carry.
D. Wild.
Brought down by number 68, Riley Cora.
Wild loses a yard.
Second down and 11.
Skyview in no hurry with a running clock. Up 56-13 and the clock approaching 2 minutes to play. Zollinger sends a man in motion. Turns and hands off to Wild. Wild still on his feet. Out to the 29-yard line, a pickup of 7.
26, Reed Wild on carry.
419 yards of offense for Skyview. They're 4 of 8 on third down. It's third down and 4. The clock down to 1:40 to play. And Mountain View's offsides for the third or fourth time tonight.
Offsides.
Their defensive line plays very aggressively, and they've used it against them tonight.
That results in a Skyview.
Big Riley Horrocks was offsides. Skyview gets a first down. They can take a knee now, getting into victory formation, and Zollinger will take a knee. They're going to have to snap it at least one more time. Zollinger's going to wait. And they won't even get ready until the back judge starts to count, and here he goes. Boy, Mountain View, one of their players firing out. Pretty frustrated. Hitting one of the Skyview players pretty hard and pushing him into the backfield. And Coach Howell's just going to have his team come to the sideline. I don't know if Skyview's going to have to snap it. Over 400 yards of offense for the Bobcats, and they're going to move on to the semifinals with a 56-13 win over Mountain View. Thanks for joining us all season long in the Game of the Week on the Valley Channel. We'll be back in a few weeks with basketball. Until then, we'll see you next time on the Game of the Week. The Game of the Week on the Valley Channel is brought to you by Icon Health and Fitness, changing lives with fitness innovation. Wendy's of Cache Valley, it's way better than fast food, it's Wendy's. Mountain Star Cache Valley Hospital, together we're greater. New Smile Dental, experienced dental care. Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology, bring back what you have been missing. Palmer Home Furnishings, our low overhead means higher quality at lower prices. Aspen Dental, get that gorgeous smile you've always wanted. KSM means music. Music is all we do. Four Seasons Apartments and Townhomes is your home. Anderson Seed and Garden, growing better gardeners. Factory Pizzeria, we're open late after the game. The Logo Shop, we logo stuff, all kinds of stuff. And the Valley Channel, Cache Valley's TV station for over 25 years.